Hello, I hope everyone is doing well. This is a deck I've had just for a little bit. It's out of print, but I was able to get a new copy, and you can still find them out there. That you just pay a premium for them. I think if you bought it when it was on the website, when it was on the Philosophical Research Society's website, I think it was $40, maybe? There's the box. So this is the Knapp-Hall Tarot, Revised New Art Tarot. I believe this is the second edition, but it will tell me inside, I believe. So let's look at it. The box is cheap as hell, but it has two parts in it where there's a little tiny manual, and we'll put that there. So here's that's what the back looks like, and there's the kind of the title card, and then we have the little booklet which tells me second printing 2020. So it's the second printing from last year. And there's PRS.org is where I got mine on eBay though. There's the little white book. Facsimile signatures of Knapp and Hall. And then there's two Fool cards, Foo. So let's look at the deck. It's standard card thickness. Probably, I mean, it's just very standard, nothing too crazy. So let's see. Of course, the Knapp-Hall Tarot is legendary. I mean, it's been out for a while, almost, I guess, over 100 years now. So here is the Fool with all the cards shown, but all the cards, so it starts with Magician and goes all the way to World. So that's almost like an extra card. But in the booklet, it doesn't really address it, but it's sort of like that all-encompassing card. Okay, so here we have the Fool, which it's the same without them superimposed on it. We have a little dog and the alligator there. Kind of milky, I mean, cloudy, muddy, not so sharp pictures, but that's, I mean, this is a reproduction, but I mean, this is how they were. So it's not to say anything bad about the quality of the print. Batelier. Three-legged table. There you can see kind of that infinity hat. It's got that roses. Caduceus. Papess, the veil. She has owls behind her. Two keys. The book is closed. Imperatrice. Kind of that crown of stars. Eagle. Foot on the moon. So fairly standard as far as, you know, tarot symbolism, traditional tarot symbolism. Square, and then there's these shields that are on the our Knapp-Hall trademarks on the cards, and that's sort of the thing that people kind of associate with this deck. So here we have four eyes with eyebrows. Here we have the Star of the Pep. Here we have one has hair, one does not. He's given that sort of, what do you call it, benediction thing. Two columns, two different colors. Papal crown. Here we see angel, bare-breasted woman, youth, child. Chariot, Sphinx, canopy of stars, stars on the shield, scepter, La Justice. So we have the symbol for the sun, scales, sword upright, lantern, dog, Sphinx. Here we have the snake not wrapped around the staff, but just the snake there. He's shielding the lantern, and we have there's the, and he has a crook, a shepherd's crook. Wheel of Fortune. We have little impish, part siren, part creature with a trident. He has a winged baton, the Egyptian wings, Sphinx. There's a little crank. And there's two snakes intertwined at the bottom. Force. Now this one is, to me, it's very, very different. So you have bones of showing that the lion is not a tame lion. It's a fierce lion. It is she's like opening the mouth, not really closing it. So you can see like her thumb is on the actual like mandible jaw, and then she's pulling it up. So why would she be pulling its mouth open? Wearing a cape, wearing an infinity hat, and the shield is a swan. Signet. The Hanged Man. He's just kind of chilling. He looks like he has little dreadlocks, but crossed leg. One leg is bound. Not much in the background. La Morte. Here we have 5 heads, 2 hands, and the reaping scythe there. Complete skeleton, and it's dark. Temperance. So we have the yin-yang symbol. Transmutation, temperance, turning something, transference, the balance, all that good stuff. And poppies. It looks like poppies are in the background. Here we have the Diable. So we have the little imps, male and female, sort of Mercury, Venus symbol, the torch, the light, the well, there's 2 things of light which indicate knowledge. There's the, let's see, greenish bat wings, which are kind of interesting. And then we have the Hebrew letters there, which I'm looking at them to see if I can. My Hebrew letters, I do not have them all memorized. What does it say? Maybe the book will tell me. The book should. That book's actually not bad. Mort, devil, Hebrew Samek, a prop. Should be first connected to the number 6. Venus, as well as the light bearer Lucifer. Devil portrays a creature resembling Pan with the horns of a ram or deer. Arms and body of a man, the legs and feet of a goat. Figure stands upon a cubic stone with a ring attached to the front, displaying 2 chained satyrs. He carries a lighted torch or candle. The entire figure is symbolic. The magic powers of the astral light, or universal mirror, in which the divine forces are reflected in an inverted or infernal state. The demon is winged like a bat, showing that it pertains to the nocturnal or shadow inferior sphere. The animal natures of man in the form of the male and female elemental are chained to its footstool. The torch is the false light which guides unilluminated souls to their own undoing. The shield to the left gives us an inverted tetragram. Where's the shield at? Oh, I guess. Oh, inverted tetragram. Tetragrammaton, representing the inverted forces of creation. Oh, well then I can read that. It's, hey, Daleth, hey, Yod, which is actually right here on this card. Okay, makes sense now. Le feu de ciel. Lightning, fallen souls, crowned king, sort of like the prince. There is a door here. It's being cracked open. It looks like it's a stormy daylight. Étoile. Here we have, instead of a funny little bird, we have a little butterfly, the stars. Nude female, pouring water, kneeling. La lune. Pretty typical wolf dog, path, moon drops. Sole. Children in like a ring of roses with the wall. Sun. Youth. Déjeunement. Here we have skull and rose. And the angel Michael. Does it say the angel Michael here? Oh, this says presumably the Archangel Gabriel. I've seen Michael, and then I think Hussan says it's Michael. Archangel Gabriel blowing a trumpet. Shield divided into black and white displays a white skull and red rose, symbol of death and resurrection. And here's 2122 Le Mans with the 4 figures there, which is yes, the vision of Ezekiel. Central figure surrounded by wreath, form of Vesica Pisces. The cherubim of Ezekiel's vision occupies the corners of the card. The tarot is called the microcosm and the macrocosm because it is summed up every agency contributing to the structure of creation. The woman in the center represents divine fire in the heart of the great mystery. Shield displays a circle with a cross or tav, which imitates the squaring of the circle, representing the elements. The roll carries both 2122 because the card acts like a gateway, beginning of a new cycle or whirling, and portrays in the portal to the minor arcana. The number 22 reduces to 4. And the Holy Tetragrammaton, which provides a spiritual structure for the minor arcana. So let's go. J.A. Knapp. So the minor arcana are interesting in this because they are very, I think there's somewhat more, there's more inspiration and more stuff hidden in the minor arcana, even though they seem very simplistic. So let's quickly go through them. Here we have an ace. I love the ace cards on these in this set. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and you see all these interesting shapes. Star, here we have the moon. 10. And here we have, this is, I believe it's Squire, Warrior, Queen, and King. Yeah, a slave, not squire, slave. Slave, chained, looks like a chest of money. And I love the court cards in this set. Warrior, Queen, King. See, I really wish the print quality, if they, maybe a restored recreation where there wasn't offset printing. I know it's meant to be like an exact replica, but yeah, make it look a little bit better instead of like cheap, Mexican newspaper color cards. Let's see, and then here we have the sword. And these symbols are like, whoa. There's the Emperor's symbol that he has in his staff. Rose. Staff with the caduceus. Moon. Snake with an arrow at the bottom. Of course, because these are fairly icky cards to get. And then we have the slave. This slave still has chains, but he's outside. We have the warrior, queen, and the king with a yod in that. And then it looks like all the ace cards have the J-A-K. J-A Knapp. Chalice with the heart with the cross. Ace. Eye of Horus. Well, that's not the Eye of Horus. What is that? It's more like it's definitely Egyptian feeling. So the Eye of Horus usually have that sort of swirly. It could be one. H. Jewel. Serpent. King. Eight. Nine. Look, it's a flying snitch. Two hands up. 10. Chain, the slave is chained. Broken tree. Warrior. Here we have the elements there. Queen with fire coming out of her cup. And the king, fire is coming out of his cup too. Yod. Ace. I love that. That's really nice, that baton. And they look 2, 3, 4, 5, 7. We have 8, 9, 10. Slave. So he's planting, and then there's the staff there, which looks just like that one. The warrior. Symbol of the sun. Queen. And the king. And there we go. That's the Knapp-Hall Tarot, which is very, the historical deck. I think, was it U.S. Game Systems had the Knapp-Hall Tarot, like in the 80s, I believe. And you can't find that pretty much anywhere. It is out of print, but we have this one published by the Philosophical Research Society. Sounds so generic. So a couple of things. I got a really cool book that is hard to find, but I did find it for like the regular price. It's called The Devil's Dozen, 13 Craft Fights of the Old One by Gemma Gary. And it is really neat. These are rights. So we have the Man in Black, a call unto the Dark Man, under the horns, a rite of witch initiation dedication. The witch's now, a rite of hallowing the working ground, raising the stang, hallowing, shotting, and raising the stang. The Horned Castle, a rite of the witch's compass. The Whist Hounds, a call unto the Whist Hounds, a rite of turning. The Light Betwixt, a devotional conjuration of the witch fire, a devotional mass for old Master Bucca. All is One, the Rite of Union. Skin Turning and the Wild Hunt, the Assumption of the Horns, and All Hallows Rite of the Wild Hunt. The Buckle Vessel, a rite of the Buckle Vessel. The Old Farmer, a rite of the Green Cap. And there's some pages of photographs of these being performed. Wild Huntsman. Oh my gosh. Wow. Old Horny. Depicting a central figure to many witches Sabbath, the old goat god, perhaps in the form of a guised witch master. And there's some drawings in here. That's the one from the cover. All is One. It's a neat little book, and it's hard to get. It's published by Troy Books. But I was really interested in getting it and reading it. Tiny little book. Mainly about the historical creature that is the witch is one who has tradition long been held to have gained useful access to unseen powers. So, also I have bought more of the Florentine box that I initially had, this one, which I absolutely love. My grandmother bought it for me. So you go on eBay, you look, you find other things. And I got this tray for not too much, and I think it's beautiful. It goes really well with, like a Visconti deck. And then I got this one, which has more heralds, which kind of reminded me of my original box with this symbol in this one. We have the lion there. And they look absolutely ancient. They're so pretty. This one, around the edges, it looks like it's painted wood, which is really weird. And then the day before yesterday, this one came in. This is my last purchase, the one. And this one actually has the sticker, Decorative Craft Florencia, handmade in Italy. It has this really pretty blue. And this one doesn't open up all the way because it's like a scalloped. But they're so interesting. I love these. So pretty. And they look like they're absolutely ancient. But I love little boxes, so I'm not going to buy any more. I just, you know, I just wanted a few just for fun, just to kind of have them. And let's see, the Macari Tarot came in. So I got this, and I got a bag, and the booklet, and stickers, and a moon calendar, which is only 2021. So, and then I also got a strange tarot deck, which I saw pictures of, and I'm like, what is this? It is the Kingdom Highway Tarot, and it's it took me a while to get it because it's the make cards site where people upload their stuff and you order them. It came in a little plain box, and I think initially there were only a few made, and then now it's in, you know, you can order it and have it printed. It's an interesting deck, but the box is just white. But yeah, but it's also June, it's Pride Month, so to all my fellow homosexuals, see, it's time for to celebrate who you are, not be afraid anymore, to show that you have pride in who you are, not who you're not. And my suggestion for everyone, if you really want, I swear, the queerest deck I own is the Cosmic Tribe Tarot, because it just seems like it's a very inclusive deck. And it's in print. So here's one of the lovers cards. That's the male one. Then there's a female one, and then there's a heterosexual couple. And I love this deck because it does not shy away from nudity. It has all body types. And it is just a really interesting deck. And you can look at my video on it. Let's see, where's my other ones? I'm looking for the, oh, here it is. So here's the lesbian couple. And there's the heterosexual couple. They're probably not even heterosexual, they're probably bisexual. I mean, this deck, so you can replace the cards as you need, which I think is pretty cool. And so they just have the, and I love the little sort of impish people up there. It's a cool deck. Anyway, I hope everyone is doing well and reading tarot, researching tarot, having fun. Anyway, thank you so much for watching.